Hello, everyone. I think you had a great week, and I am here again to tell my stories. Please share your thought after you listen to my stories and leave your valuable feedback in the comment section. And for more stories like this, you should subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to personalize your notification setting. As ongoing promotional drive for my new book, Ghost Runners and Others, I am going to tell you story of a woman called Pema in the story named Pema's World from the book Ghost Runners and Others. So here's the story. It is spring. Every afternoon is getting hotter than the previous one. Pema is sitting on the edge of a platform in front of her bedroom. It is time for her granddaughter, Anu, to come back from school. Pavitra, Pema's daughter in law, is busy in chores. She goes to work early morning. She is a health worker in the city hospital. In the evening, she cooks in a nursing home of women. In between works, she ties up her own household. Pema tries to help her but fails to keep pace with her. Pema too worked for a household since a teenage. Teenage lights up her memories of the spring. She frowns hard to sharpen her gaze through slit between eyelids, wrinkling up the loose skin above her chin. Anu rattles open the door and her countenance brightens up in enthusiasm. She shouts, Did you? You were seeing something from past? Tell me what it is. Pema smiles. Her toothless cheek dimples deeper between jaws. She shouts back at Anu, Wash yourself first, eat some momo, then I will tell you about the valley I was born. The red of the tiger's claw flowers makes Pema remember that she got her first period during spring. Her grandma told her, like tiger's claw blooms red in spring, you are going to be red every month. Pema ridiculed her grandmother. Will I bloom then? Grandmother smiled. Now Pema knows how she bloomed. The valley used to be pleasant in spring, cool in summer, comfortable during autumn, and warm in winter. After every sprinkle of rain, rainbow used to arch over the valley from one wall of mountain to another. The night sky was unpredictable. Generally, in summer and winter, night sky used to raise a veil of dense fog. Spring and autumn used to have a night sky embossed with twinkling stars, leaving a week before full moon and a week after it. Spring used to be red in tiger's claw, kapok in rhododendrons, purple in bohemia, myrtle and rhododendron, white in flowers and rhododendron. Autumn used to be brighter on leaves, grasses, mosses, on boulders dumped by a river, and on splashes of river water that stumbles upon boulders on its bed. The tea plantations surrounding the valley used to keep changing shades of green all around the year. As Pema started menstruating, Puran's cuddle started making more sense to her. Following spring, she eloped with Puran. She can barely remember how long their journey was. Only she remembers the thrill of journey. She cannot even remember if she got period during the journey. She wonders now. If she got it, then how she cleaned herself. She left him only with Puran's palms in her hands. First, they climbed the valley walls through the tea gardens. Then they started climbing down the mountain on the other side of the valley. It was through a dense forest. The days used to pass by looking for fruits or a root. The nightfall used to be time for heaping up a pyre and baking the root or a rat in it. As the darkness used to creep, filling all voids in the forests, Pema used to fall asleep. Puran used to stay up in protection of Pema. The dampening cold gushes of wind during the wee hours used to awoke Pema. Shrugging off residue sleep from her body, Pema used to find Puran asleep, curled up by the fire. Pema used to cover him up with her stole. Then she used to push in few more twigs to the pyre to rejuvenate the flames. After that, she occasionally got a parenthesis to accommodate her surprise over why no jackal has yet eaten Puran and herself alive. Once they arrived foothills, they found a river to bathe and an abundant railway shed to sleep. Days were beautiful with millions of butterflies flocking on the damp spots to suckle minerals. The scene used to create a mosaic of color on the ground. With slightest tremor, the butterflies used to bring the mosaic up in the air by fluttering their velvety wings. There were insects which used to resemble blossoming flowers. Only very close view used to give idea of their movement along moribund branches of trees. In the evening, often the elephants used to fight on the riverbed. Sometimes they used to be found in large flock coming out of the forest and drinking from the river. One morning, Pema and Puran was forced to leave the shed. The morning they discovered that they were living with a snake. Venomous or not, it made them leave the place. Foraging all that day not only meant finding food, but also finding shelter. That night, they sneaked in a cottage in the forest range complex. For the sake of keeping others in the complex in dark about their existence, they kept the darkness inside the cottage intact. Gradually, they learned to communicate in darkness. In the daybreak, they used to search the cottage for traces of other animals sharing their shelter in corners and crevices of the cottage. Finding none further motivated them to return there to sleep. One night, a few people discovered them asleep on the dirty floor of the cottage. Next morning, Pema and Puran woke up in front of a man sitting on chair staring at them. His glances were not scary, yet Pema and Puran dreaded being beaten black and blue. The man took them to another cottage and helped them to wash themselves up, offered them food, and then brought them before Beat Babu. Beat Babu asked them about their whereabouts. Both Pema and Puran kept mum, yet the community did not throw them up. They offered livelihood. Pema started being household help at Beat Babu's quarter. Beat Babu and his wife were then expecting their second child, the first one being just a toddler. Puran was employed as cook in the mess of the security forces camping in front of the forest range office. Through Puran, Pema was introduced to Dipen. Both used to love Pema. Pema never loved them but felt proud of having two lovers at the same time in harmony. Thus, she could never figure out who among them gave her the stillborn. She was not at all worried about the child. As soon as she was told by other women of the community that she is going to have a child, she decided to float the baby in the river. It was Beat Babu and his wife who were concerned about her and her child. People told nasty things about Beat Babu, blaming him for Pema's pregnancy. But his wife stood by both Beat Babu and Pema. She motivated Beat Babu to help Pema and her unborn child to grow up while never accepting the false blame of fatherhood of Pema's child. Here finishes the excerpt from Famous World from the book The Ghost Runners and Others. If you like to buy the book, it's available on Amazon Kindle and also available in hard copy formats. So you can order them from your nearest market online. Also, the book would be available for free from Saturday 1:30 p.m. tomorrow 16th November 2019 to 1:30 p.m. Sunday 17th November 2019 Indian Standard Times both. So you can also download them for free tomorrow. And tomorrow is the last opportunity to download my book for free, or you can buy it for very low prices from your respective marketplaces. Thank you for listening. Have a great week ahead. See you next week.